hygienisch und einfach. That's not making it in the video. Hi, Kim Rosas here, your period product obsessed host on this weird part of the internet. Period Nirvana is your new go-to source for all things reusable menstrual products with updated reviews and information. And Period.Shop is the first reusable menstrual products dedicated store. I started this last year and I curate all the products so you know you can trust them. If you're just finding me on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. When I first saw this Elanee Menstruationstasse online, I knew I had to have it, even though it's not available to purchase from the US and have it shipped to the US. So I called up my German connections and said, hey, I have a couple cups I want to buy. It was this one and the Beppy that I've already reviewed. Can you send them to me? And it took forever. I think they were being pulled over on a tugboat across the ocean. Menstrual cups, what?
That's crazy. German?
Ah!
Oh,
I dropped one.
the Dominoes.
This is the Beppy cup.
Beppy.
And then, what is that?
A menstrual cup.
I know, it's so weird.
It's a menstrual cup, Mom.
And
Like
here's
I thought you know all about these.
But I've had time to also try the Elanee Menstruationstasse, and so that's the review today. I did ask my friends in Germany how to say the brand because I didn't want to butcher it, and they promptly replied back that it's not a German word to begin with, but they did look online and decide to help me out, and it was
Elanee.
Elanee. Elanee. I was going to say Elanee. Elanee. It's very southern of me. Elanee. So, as you can imagine, my southern accent doesn't really translate to foreign pronunciations. In high school, I took 3 years of Latin, and reading Latin out loud was actual torture. And then in college, I took Hebrew, and that was even worse. There was no in my voice. It was very hard. So now to the cup. That's what we're here for. You don't want to hear my sad, anxious girl stories. It is different looking, and I am attracted to different looking products, and I always want to test them to see if the design was different on purpose and does something cool, or if it was trying to be novel and in fact it sucks. So I did have to try it. The Elanee is made from medical grade TPE, and it has 2 sizes, and it actually comes just by default in different firmnesses. So the size 1 is a softer firmness, and this, which is the size 2, is a firmer TPE. So you can't choose which firmness you want. Size 1 is softer, size 2 is firmer. This stem reminds me very much of those nested heart bracelets that I wore as a kid, and maybe some of you did. And so, I mean, it's very cutesy, and I, of course, was just super interested in what it did. So it curves, and that was a concern. The curvature is presumably something that you would want facing up towards you to follow the body's curve, so that's how I inserted it. For the length, they do say you can cut off 1 heart of the tab. They do not, that I see, recommend cutting off the second, and based on the design, that makes totally perfect sense. The cup does not have suction holes in the design, so that's, you know, this stem is supposed to be very important for removal, so we'll see how that goes. For the dimensions, it's on the menstrual cup comparison chart on periodnirvana.com, so you can check those out. The size 1 holds 23 milliliters, this one, and the size 2 holds 33. So actually, this one it has quite a good capacity, 33 milliliters. On the website and on the box, from what I can gather from the German, it does look like they mentioned this pull tab as a discreet way of removing it. I don't know what's not discreet about removing a menstrual cup, although sometimes it does make a little bit of a squelch when you try to remove it, but I don't think that this tab is reducing any squelching, so I'm not quite sure where they were going with that discreet thing. It also says you can do sport, spa, and swim, so they really want you to do sauna with this cup based on the website. Like, they really are pushing the sauna thing, so we know this isn't an American company because we don't really do sauna. I do think that you insert it with this scoop part facing up towards you, which is what the box instruction seems to also say. Since in basically all menstrual cups, I fall into the size 2, that's the one I tested. So on this trip, camping trip, I also packed this product to test. And so since we're going to be in the RV the rest of the day, I'm going to give it a trial and see how it goes. It is supposed to work kind of like the Flex, where you pull this and it breaks the seal. So that will be what I'm going to test. And of course, hoping it works. But I brought backup, as I always do when I'm testing products. Before I share my experience, which is fun, I do want to talk more about the intent of this design, which you're probably curious about. According to what I can see, this pull tab was designed as a way to break the suction of the cup at removal, or to help break the seal during removal. So there is a cup that does this. It's called the Flex Cup. I reviewed it here on the channel, and that design was done by Jane, who did a Kickstarter for the Keela Cup that was successfully funded, but then ultimately through many steps, the Flex company that made the disposable discs bought that, renamed it the Flex Cup, made some slight design modifications, and that is being sold now, and it's a big success. You can find it on shelves at Target. I don't like the company Flex, but it is a good design, and it does work. So does it work as well as the Flex Cup? Here is the Flex Cup being pulled by the stem only after suctioning into my fake vagina cube. Here is where the suction is breaking. Here is the Elanee Cup size 1, which fits into my vagina cube, being removed by the heart stem. Oh my God, I broke it. What the fuck? Seriously? Never in my life. And it broke. That was not supposed to happen. That's not a good sign. Yeah, so that didn't really do much. After the cup broke, I decided to look back at the instructions. I read them again before filming, and I remember that it said relax the vaginal muscles. So I'm looking again, and here's what it says for anyone who's thinking, okay, maybe Kim, you did it wrong. Option 1, relax the vaginal muscles. Hold onto the heart on the pull tab with your thumb and index finger and pull carefully. Pull the cup downwards using the pull tab until it is positioned loosely in your vagina. Let go of the heart and hold the cup by the grip area to pull it out of your vagina. So they're basically saying pull this heart stem down until you can reach the base and then grip it and remove it. I don't understand. Like, what am I missing here? Would you pull it by this thing? This looks like a grip area to me, and these are the hearts. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. So let's talk about the review experience. And that was a preview of what my body felt like trying to get that cup out. I like to optimize my time with period products because, you know, I love my job and I love what I do, and I love helping you pick what's going to work for you or not. And so some of the products I review because I know people are looking forward to them, and some products I review because I'm just simply curious, or they've been requested by you, even if I personally don't want to put it in my body. So I have donated my vagina to the good of the earth, to the planet, to mankind and womankind and peoplekind. And so I packed, well, actually I had in my vagina the Cora disc when I went camping. So I had already started my period this last cycle for a time when I was on vacation. And so that video is already posted. But then during the camping trip, I had packed the size 2 and brought that along so that I could try that as well, because I needed to try 2 things in one cycle. Very busy vagina. It's got a waiting list. Okay. So here's how it went. So I had to give up on this new cup, the Elanee, because I'm having sharp pains and I can hardly sit down. So I tried for an hour. And also that heart thing has been stabbing close to my entrance, and it's just very uncomfortable. So I'm going to try removing it. Pulling the hearts. That really hurts. This does not break the seal.
soap?
Hand soap. All the while I was going through that experience, I was like less than a foot away from my children and my husband, and at one point they interrupted, and I was all like, trying to really not stick it out. Okay, so I broke the seal, and now we're good. So this was super hard to clean. I had to pull this up to get everything out from under here and move things around. And we only have so much water because we're in a camper. It's really fancy. And so we can only store so much gray water. So it took longer than I would have liked to wash this. And this really hurt to take out. There's no suction holes. It did not work. Yeah. I had intended to review it, but I was in so much pain that ultimately I had to remove it early. I remember sitting like this in the RV couch because the stem was like stabbing my vagina, and I was having sharp cervical suction cramps. So when people say, my cup causes me pain or discomfort or cramps, I'll often ask, is it a dull all over cramp, which could be a cup that's too firm, or is it like a really intense, sharp, localized cramp? And that I typically diagnose as it suctioning to the cervix and giving you that pain. And that is what I was experiencing. And I've had this feeling on a couple other cups, but not many, thankfully. But I 100% sympathize with anyone who has had it because it sucks. And I had really hoped, looking at the design, I was concerned about the scoopy part, and I thought, okay, that's probably going to be a vagina stabber, but, it has to be designed this way for a reason, right? So maybe it's like the Fun Factory or the Kind Cup where it's curved with your body. And so I thought maybe that was on purpose, and it's comfortable, and it really does just follow the curvature of your bones in your canal in that way. No, it was stab, 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 stab. So obviously in that footage, you can see in my demo and my personal diary of sorts that the tugging the stem did not break the seal. I ultimately had to do what I do with every cup except the Flex or menstrual discs, which are suction free, that I had to pinch it. But because this is a firmer TPE, I even had a hard time getting it out and breaking the seal that way. So the cup does not have suction release holes, these holes at the top that most cups, not all, but most cups have, that are intended to help you break the seal. That isn't there. So even, let's say this worked as designed, that would be helpful. But if you were removing it the way most cups are removed by pinching it to break the seal, that can be a challenge when there are no suction holes if it has a really good suction, and it did. So I was in quite a bit of discomfort and pain. It was not fun. So to wrap it up, even when I doubt a design of a cup, which I had a lot of serious concerns about, would this tab work to pull down the rim like it's supposed to break the seal? No. Would this little scoopy thing, the heart tab, work with my body instead of against it? No. I go into it with an open mind because I would like to be proven wrong. And I always assume when something is weird and unique, my first assumption is often that the design is there because someone found a better way and they tested it and did research and development and it worked. I have a hard time imagining that there was a lot of positive feedback on this removal process and the stem. This cup now goes into my novelty collection of cups that took a stab at it, but it didn't quite work out. It joins the ranks of the Elanee Cup Vitality, which is that screw removal system cup I tried in another life, and the valve cup from Elanee. It looks like Fem Ally. Elanee. I don't know. And that cup, the valve cup, which was not in my top 10 or top 20 or top 30 So it's a novelty cup. This is a novelty cup now, and this is a broken novelty cup. Whoops. And that's a wrap for this video on the Elanee Menstruationstasse. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I did not cause secondhand pain or discomfort, because I know sometimes when I have a hard time, people write to me and say, oh, that hurt my crotch, and I get the same way, so I'm sorry. Don't forget, if you are new here, to subscribe to the channel for more of whatever this is. You can find me on the Instagram account at Nirvana. I'm trying to hit my 10,000 follower goal, and it's a slow crawl. Things are really moving at a snail's pace on the Instagrams. On TikTok, it's going at rapid pace, and I do a lot of short educational contents and clips there, so be sure to follow at Nirvana on TikTok. And half of you probably came here from TikTok, so thank you very much. And of course, if you are someone who is on Facebook, which means you're probably 30 and over, you can join the Nirvana community, where we have troubleshooting and other people who are experienced with cups there to chat with. And it's a good place to get your questions answered, because I get dozens of questions, I think, every day, and I cannot personally respond to them all as much as I would like to. And so that's the next place I would send you for help. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I can't believe that happened. Der Cup mich Herz entnack me dank discreter Zuglash. The Elanee Menstruation. I want to say minstrel, so I always start with Okay, we're gonna do it.